Welcome to Fitchburg Fire Station 2. Eventually, this station on the west side will serve a good portion of the west side of the city of Fitchburg. It'll house both fire and EMS. The idea, the concept of moving our station to this location was to serve more people in the city, more than our current station does. If you look at where our current Station 2 is located, it serves what amounts to the northeast corner of our city. The way that development was going in the city of Fitchburg was moving more toward the center and south. So if we're realistically going to address the need for service in the entire city, we needed to think about centralizing our stations. Now they were able to come up with a location that wasn't being used, but it was fairly small in size. So for us to place a station in this area, we were filling up basically the whole lot. So that's one of the things that we took into account when we went to design and architecture, is how can you make a functioning fire station exist on what amounted to a wedge lot. So as you drive by the station, you notice that it sort of has this sawtooth design, and that was intended so that we could fit the most amount of station in what amounted to the least amount of space. Sure, some of the things that went into the design of the building really had to do with some of the green concepts that the city is moving toward. You have the geothermal heating, the in-floor radiant heating. We have hot water, solar hot water heat. And the other thing that we're looking at is the potential for a future solar array on the roof. Everything has been built into the infrastructure of this building. We know that it's a larger building. You know that it's going to take some energy in order to heat, to cool, to energize. So it was in our best interest to look at how we could save money over the course of time. Another aspect to our station is the front doors, the apparatus bay doors. We opted to move away from the traditional overhead door in the front for a couple of reasons. The speed of operation, they do open a little bit quicker, and then as they open, you know that they're completely open. So we don't necessarily have the same potential for vehicles running into a door that's not all the way open or is in the process of closing. You know when the door is open, you know when the door is closed, and there really is no in between. It gives the driver-operator a better opportunity to visualize what's in front of them. So another concept that we wanted to try to implement in the fire station is a very utilitarian concept. So a lot of the areas that we have are raw surfaces, rugged surfaces, so that over the course of time, they will wear and they'll wear well. And we won't have to worry about replacing things like vinyl floors or carpeting. Now, sure, that'll exist in some areas of the station, but the high traffic areas, we're trying to reduce our exposure for repair and refurbishment in the future. That's why you see a lot of the things that you'll see here. And as the station comes closer to completion, those surfaces will really stand out as being one of the focal features of the fire department. So we're in the living quarters now of the new fire station. Right behind me, this would be a wall, but behind this wall would be our kitchen and our day room. It's an area where the firefighters are going to spend a good portion of their day. So we're looking at not only serving 2 to 3 meals a day, you're also looking at the fact that we have a multi-purpose room. One that can be used for leisure, obviously with watching TV and stuff like that, but it's intended to be used for informal training and a number of other different things. When we looked at this space, we knew that we didn't necessarily have a lot of space, so we had to take a look at how we could use different areas for multiple purposes, and the day room is an example of that. Not only will it have the typical recliner type chair, but it's also going to have arrangements so that we can function in that area for training. So in the dorm rooms, we have what amounts to 10 dorm rooms, two of which we'll be using for our fire service interns, people who actually reside in the station as they're going through their associate level program. But then we have 8 other rooms that would be used for the daily fire and EMS staff. Each firefighter, each EMT, paramedic are going to have their own bunk room. Everything's connected through a station alerting program, so as a call comes in, every single room gets notified at the same time. And if we look at that realistically, those rooms are actually being used during the evening hours. We're talking about right around 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. That's when those rooms are starting to get occupied. Before that, every other aspect is being used, the office area, the workout room, the training room, conference room, and then obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the kitchen and the day room. But they call it a firehouse for a reason. It's because basically this is our home, our house, when we're at work. And a lot of the same amenities that people have in their home, we have to have here for very real reasons. And our intent here is not only to serve a very professional and practical purpose, but one that serves the firefighter and their general well-being. So the intent behind the bunk room is to be able to not only sleep, but there is a work area in there. Each firefighter would have the ability to do homework, to do a number of other different things. So we have a desk, we have a locker, we have the bed. But beyond that, that's pretty much what those rooms are limited to.